Hello, everybody. My name is Bradley Cooper, and I am endorsing Jo Jorgensen for president. Now, if you don't know who Jo Jorgensen is, she is the Libertarian Party candidate running for president. Now, a lot of people don't hear her name on the mass media, doing interviews, her name being brought up, videos of her on the campaign trail, because the mass media is scared of her. They don't want her to be a viable option for president and have a Libertarian Party candidate as the President of the United States. They also don't want to see the erosion of the Republican and Democratic Party and have history repeat itself. Well, like the Bull and Moose Party was very popular, and then people saw that the party was not adhering to its core beliefs and values, so they left that party and went to other parties that had more of their beliefs and values, and the direction the party was going was more favorable with those people. So the Bull and Moose Party died off, and these other political parties grew in popularity and became more powerful. And they don't want to see the Libertarian Party do that to the Republican and Democratic Party. And they don't want us to get federal funding, because if the Libertarian Party gets 5% of the national voting total, then we get federal funding, and we have a level playing field with the Republican and Democratic Party. We get instant ballot access throughout this country, and they don't want to have that happen to the Libertarian Party and see us grow exponentially. So that's why they blacklist Jo Jorgensen and don't talk about her. Now, if you go to jo20.com or look at all of her social media platforms, I guarantee you that you'll like her just as much as I do, and you're going to be proud to vote for her in November. Now, when I was looking at all the candidates that were running for president, I saw Joe Biden and Donald Trump as two polarizing candidates and two people that are going to be horrible for this country. Joe Biden, for instance, if you look at all of the things that have been happening since this coronavirus started and the mandates and lockdowns have happened, you will see how the Democratic governors controlled the state, mandated so many different things, shut down businesses, regulated how businesses can open and when not they can open, when you can do indoor dining and when you can't do indoor dining, what type of things do you need to have to be able to run your business, like plexiglass over the register or different areas, or you can only have so many people in your restaurant or business at a certain given time, or how many square feet can your business hold per X amount of people that the governor of that state mandates and rules. And then all of the small businesses across this country that have been foreclosing or going bankrupt because they don't have the business there like they used to have. And it's not like a lot of these businesses had financial trouble to begin with. It's just because of the mandates and rules that the governors have put on these businesses, they couldn't sustain in the new way the world is going because of the governor's mandates and rulings, that they had to close up shop, or they didn't get the funding from the government that they were told that they would get, or it's not enough to help pay for all the bills and to keep the place running, so they had to shut down. Also, all of the rules, regulations, and policies that they put on the citizens of that state, that you have to do this, you can't do that, you can't be in this bigger group, you can't go to sporting events, you can't go to ball games or sporting events, regardless of what they are, kids or adults or professional. You can't go to concerts, or you can't do this, or you can't do that. Basically controlling every aspect of our lives and basically telling us how we can live. If you are satisfied with the way the governors have controlled your life, have crippled businesses, and killed economies all across this country, then vote for Joe Biden. But if you don't like that and you want to be more peaceful, you want to be more prosperous, you want to live the life the way that you want to live it and not have somebody like a governor control your everyday life like they're your mommy or daddy, and that you can't do it yourself because you need direction by the governor on how to live your life and how to spend your money and what you can and can't do, and you want all that to stop, then don't vote for Joe Biden, because that's what Joe Biden wants, is what the Democratic governors have been doing, because he did a Zoom meeting with Tom Wolf, my governor of Pennsylvania, yucking it up and congratulating him and making him feel like he's the best thing since sliced bread, and making this state so great and safe with the coronavirus and how he's been handling everything. And he never went against any of these governors, nor Tom Wolf, saying, how could you do this? How can you allow all these businesses to crumble? How can you cripple the economy in this state? Why are you regulating and controlling all these people's daily life and making them act like they're 7-year-old kids who can't run their life on their own? He didn't criticize them. He actually praises them. And he actually came out and said multiple times that he wants to have a national mandatory masking where everybody in the United States has to wear a mask, because he mandated it, and regardless of what the governors of that state are ruling, he trumps them, and that's what he wants to do, because he agrees with the direction that these governors are taking the states, and agrees that they're handling this virus correctly. And I'm scared of how this guy is going to cripple businesses all across this country and only make businesses that they feel are necessary to run continue to run and make all the money, like Walmart's, Target's, BJ's, Amazon, but not your local hardware store, not your local mom and pop restaurant, not your local shoe store that somebody owns. Nope, we don't care about them. We only care about the big box stores, the big guys who are corporate guys that pay for our campaign and give us money so we keep on funding and supporting their businesses so they don't lose any business and they don't go under. That's what these Democratic governors are doing on a daily basis. They're controlling kids' education and when they can and can't play sports. They are dictating how young kids live their lives and basically causing them to have social issues because they can't go out and socialize with people. They can't go to different colleges and schools because it's too dangerous. So we got to do online learning and cripple people's livelihood, because now parents got to figure out how can they go to work and teach their kids. Some people are not fit to be teachers because they don't have teaching degrees, or they don't know how to do the curriculum and educate the kids or try to study with them, because they're learning just like the kids are learning. So all the stuff that's going on since the pandemic hit, a lot of it is Democratic ruling that they put out there and allow to continue to happen, and Joe Biden agrees with all this. And it's scary that this is the type of person that can be our president and continue what the Democrats are doing all across this country as the governors. Also, when you look at Donald Trump and he does interviews, when he talks to people on the television or he does pep rallies, he makes no sense. He is not making coherent sentences or can't really get out what he wants to say because he's starting to get partially senile. And it's starting to show more and more and more that you don't understand what he's saying. You get the context of what he's saying. You get what he's trying to say. But when you listen to him, you sit there and you're like, what? What are you trying to say? What is your point that you're making? You get his point, but what is he trying to get? You want to hear it from the horse's mouth, not have to put together pieces of the puzzle and then say, oh, I get what he's talking about. I figured it out. That could be the person that could be the president of the United States. He's like an empty box. There's no substance to him to sink your teeth in and say, wow, this guy is great. This guy's going to lead the country in the right direction. And when he's doing speeches or pep rallies and he's doing all the data and statistics or talking about different things, he doesn't know that he's telling you wrong information. He doesn't even realize that what he's preaching at these rallies or what he's trying to convey makes no sense. And if you look at what he says and you do the research yourself, you sit there and say, does he even know what he said was wrong? Does he even realize it? He doesn't. He doesn't have any clue that what he's saying is wrong. And the people that are working with him as his coaches and mentors and people that are running his campaign are failing this guy and making him look like a bumbling idiot. And why would I want this person to be my president if he can't make any sense when he's doing a basic interview and somebody asks him basic questions and he fumbles and has issues with them? And there's only so much that somebody can coach you, and so much agenda-driven news can do to you and say, here's the questions that we're going to give you. Here, give me your answer. And he still fumbles over them. So I can't see this guy as my president. And the final thing is some of the things that he wants to do. Like, for instance, raise the minimum wage to $12 to $15 an hour, which is a Democratic agenda that they've been pushing for decades. Any Democratic candidate that has been running for high offices have been pushing $12 to $15 an hour minimum wage because they feel that the minimum wage is too low and the price of living is too expensive. But in the time that we are in right now, in this pandemic time frame where governors are crippling businesses, how can they afford to pay people $12, $15, $16 an hour? They can't afford to pay them that because businesses are struggling to make ends meet, because of the rules and mandates that governors have put on businesses and crippled them. So how can you say, oh, pay everybody $15, $12 an hour, whatever the case may be, and a lot of people will have better lives? And instead, how do I know that it's not going to work? Because I do know it's not going to work, because people are going to say, can't keep you on the payroll, see you later, bye. Or I can't afford to have all these people paid this much money, so I'm going to fold up shop because it doesn't financially make sense. And if you are a businessman of a country and the leader of the country and you can't see some of your rules, regulation, and policies make no sense in the time that we're in right now, then there is something wrong with you. And you scare me that you are going to run this country to the ground and screw thousands upon thousands of businesses while I'm stuck having to go to Walmart or Target or Amazon to get things that I could go to a mom and pop shop or somebody who's trying to make a living on a daily basis and had no problem, had no financial issue with their business, but then have financial issues because of the rulings that the governor has and the president, if Joe Biden should get elected to be the president. And that is something that I don't want to see happen. So I cannot vote for Joe Biden because I don't see him doing the right stuff and actually crippling America with a lot of his decisions and agreeing on how the governors are crippling states. Now with Donald Trump, I can't vote for Donald Trump because if you look at Donald Trump, think of yourself as working for a corporate company. If you look at the corporate office guys, a lot of those people make decisions, change and tweak the way companies are going, the direction they're going, the way certain things happen in the store level, how the company is being controlled, and the way that the company wants its employees to act and dress, and the way that the corporate office wants certain people to sell certain things at certain times, like credit cards or this product, or they want the stores to meet these certain goals, or there's certain dollar amounts that we want you to sell on a constant basis, and that we need you to make X amount of dollars a week, and we put sales figures to the manager saying that you got to meet these figures or we're going to have a problem. And if you look at those people, you look at them and say, why are you making these decisions? Where do you come up with making this as the new change? Have you even worked in the store level? Do you even know what our problems and issues are? Do you know what the problems and issues are that the customers have? No, you're just making these issues on a pure, how can I make more money mindset? How can I get the company to be more profitable? Not, how can I make the company more profitable? Well, it also helps the customers and it also helps the employees and makes their job easier. How do I allow the stores to be profitable instead of just making a decision that might help one store but not another store, or screw the employees over, make us have to work harder and make us have to do more work, and yet we don't get paid anymore, or make the customers have to run around and do different things, or screw the customers just to make an extra couple bucks. That is what Donald Trump is like, and that's why people do not like Donald Trump, because he rules by an iron fist. He doesn't allow people to negotiate or talk with him. It's either my way or the highway. If you don't like it, you're gone. And that's why there's so many people in his cabinet over the course of his first term have left or got fired or quit, because they couldn't work with Donald Trump, because Donald Trump didn't like the way that they were working with him, because he had a specific way he wanted things done, and if you don't do it, you're gone. And he basically pushed these people out the door, and didn't really technically fire certain people, but pushed them out the door to make it look like they left on their own volition, not because of Donald Trump firing them. Some people did get fired by Donald Trump or let go for a number of different reasons, but the main thing is he had a certain way he wants this country ran, and if you don't like it, oh well, this is how it is. I'm the leader of this country. I know more than you do. I'm smarter than you. There's nothing that you can tell me that I don't already know and that I'm better informed at. And these are people that have been in this position in some of these sectors of the government for decades, and Donald Trump acts like more like a know-it-all. And because of the way that he acts and the way that he conducts himself in interviews to other people, he names calls people like the Rocket Man to the North Korean leader, or some politicians losers, and the way that he tweets that millions and millions of people, not just in America but all around the country, can read, and the way that he just conducts himself on a daily basis and acts like a corporate CEO or a corporate guy. People don't like that. People don't like that. And that's why we have all this civil unrest with people that love Donald Trump and people that hate Donald Trump. People that are sick of the social justice issues that aren't getting fixed in this country, and people that are for the cops and for the men in blue, as they call themselves. So we got so many divided people in this country, and Donald Trump is doing barely nothing to try to stop all of the fighting that we have in this country, all the civil unrest that we have in this country, and all of the looting, all of the destruction of infrastructure and people's businesses, police cars getting blown up or put on fire, cops getting beat up or shot at by rioters and looters and social justice groups like Black Lives Matter and Antifa, and wishing that these people die, and Donald Trump is not saying nothing or doing nothing. I understand that people are going to say two things. One, that's why we voted for Donald Trump, to act like this type of person. And the second thing they're going to tell me is Donald Trump can't do certain things, or if he did certain things, it would be political ruins and he would not get reelected. You are the President of the United States. You are supposed to make sure that America is safe every single day, and that we don't have issues of people fighting and looting and destruction, and people feeling scared that they are going to walk outside of their house. If you live in, let's say, Philadelphia or Portland or in Minnesota or California or New York, and you're going to get beat up because of these social justice groups like Black Lives Matter or Antifa wanting to come after you because you're the white boy, and white boys don't know what it's like to be a black guy in this world, that black people don't got the same rights as a white person, and that we are oppressed, and we're going to beat you up, or we're going to do this, we're going to do that. Police officers that go out to work on a daily basis have to deal with these protesters and rioters and have to fear for their lives. And when they do something to protect themselves, after video comes out and shows that this guy did have a weapon or this guy had a criminal background, they get harassed and they get demeaned, they get yelled at, and they get criticized. Some of them lose their jobs because of the way that they acted to try to protect themselves. And this president doesn't give a crap about any of them to do anything about this, regardless if it's election year or not. And if you're not going to do anything about this now, I don't have any confidence that you're going to do anything after you become president, that you're going to bring more peace and love back into this country, because of the type of polarizing person that you are. And I don't want that type of person as the president of the United States. The other reason I can't vote for you is because you've been doing things. Some things I do agree with, like getting better trade agreements between America and China, getting the North Korean leader from stopping shooting off test missiles to, practice so he doesn't feel scared, and shows the world that I don't give a crap about you, that if you're going to threaten me, I'm going to do this or I'm going to do that. And he stopped him from doing that, and he's one of the only presidents to ever have discussions and talks to the North Korean leader. That he's done some good things. He's done things that I appreciate he did. But at the end of the day, a lot of the stuff that he did doesn't help people who are 32 and younger. Doesn't make my life better. Doesn't make my future look any more brighter than what it already was. And what it was not that good, because I have so many issues and problems on a daily basis that I got to put up with. The people that are getting a handout and help, that are 40 and above, that don't have nearly any of the issues that I have, don't have to worry about. So for instance, high colleges. People have to go to college to get a decent paying job in this day and age. If you want a master's or bachelor's or doctorates or law degree or any job that requires a degree, you have to spend sometimes $75,000 upwards of $500,000 to get a good decent paying wage job in this country. So now a 24-year-old or a 26-year-old comes out of college with a $300,000 student loan debt that she had to get to become a doctor or a nurse or to become a lawyer or to become some profession that will pay her a decent wage so she can make a living in this world with the high cost of living, goods and services, and all the bills that she has. When has Donald Trump done anything about any of that? When has Donald Trump tried to do anything about that? Oh yeah, he tried to get a better healthcare system in this country and failed when he had both Republican House and Senate majority. So how can I feel confident that he's going to show any care towards people that are my age or younger, that he's going to do anything about the high cost of living, that he's going to do anything about the price of goods and services that we have to pay for, and all of the things that we have bills about that are so stinking high that no president has cared to do anything about, that he's going to do about. And he's all about the middle class working people. We're middle class working people. We have to work sometimes 2-3 jobs to make ends meet so we can get all of our bills paid and not be living on the streets. And people that are 32 and younger are living with their parents longer and longer in life, not because we choose to or want to, but because we financially don't have enough money to be able to live on our own, to get a house or an apartment and then pay for all the bills, goods, and services that we need on a daily basis, plus all of the student loan bills that we have that's going to live with us for the rest of our life. Where people that are 45 and older, majority of them already have a house, already went to college when college was so much cheaper, don't have all the bills and issues that we have in our day and age. But Donald Trump is helping them. Oh, the stock market's the highest it's ever been. If you don't have stake in the stock market, who cares if it's really stinking high? I know part of it is the economy's doing well, but if the economy's doing well and you can't still afford to live in it because the issues and problems of high student loans, everyday living expenses super high, it doesn't matter how well the economy is. It doesn't matter how good the stock market is, how many people are off unemployment. It is just numbers to make somebody look well. When you get down to the core of the issues and problems, Donald Trump is not fixing them, and I don't see him going to fix them or getting a change done in different aspects when he tries to get it done, because of who's in office now and what he had when he tried to get, let's say, healthcare fixed and he had majority Republicans in the House and Senate. So because of that, I don't see him as a good fit to fix the problems and issues in this country or even try to fix them. And the final thing is with Donald Trump has so much resentment from Democrats. And when Republicans had the House and Senate majority, he couldn't get certain things done because people didn't like him and want to work with him. How do I know if he gets elected again for another 4 years and it stays the same, Democrat House, Republican Senate, or it goes Republican House and Democratic Senate, or it goes Democrat on both? How do I know that anyone is going to want to work with Donald Trump after this year and the election cycle? How do I know that people are going to want to do things to move this country forward because Donald Trump's in office? How do I know that if Donald Trump wants to get, let's say, a new healthcare system in this country that benefits the people, that's better than what Obamacare was, or the government one healthcare system, whatever you want to call it, he's going to be able to get it done? That he's not going to have Democrats and Republicans be a thorn in his ear and say, we're not doing that, we're not working with you, and try to impeach him and basically do nothing like the Democrats have done the past 2 years, and just basically not want to work with the guy. How do I know that's going to happen if Donald Trump becomes president? I don't know, and I don't want to sit here, and I shouldn't have to sit here and question, is Donald Trump going to be able to get things done because people don't want to work with him, or people are going to work with him if they don't have majority House, or if the Democrats have both House and Senate, or if the Republicans have the Senate still? I don't know. I shouldn't have to question. I should just see what the guy wants to do, and when he gets into office, he's going to do them. That should be what I should be, not, worrying about. Is he or is he not going to get things done? And if I have that problem where he might not be able to get things done because people don't like him, then I don't want him as my president. Now, when you look at Jo Jorgensen, she is like a mother type of figure. She can bring peace, liberty, freedom into this country. She can bring love into this country, which Donald Trump and Joe Biden do not bring in this country. She can bring in a type of ruling that we haven't seen in American history. She can bring policies and changes in this country that will benefit everybody and make this country better, and not just fix problems with a band-aid. Like, for instance, for the high cost of living, Joe Biden says we should raise the minimum wage. Why don't we make the cost of living cheaper? Why don't we have free market society where the citizens make the decision on how much these industries cost, or these businesses, or these goods and services cost? Why don't we get the government out of taxes? Why don't we get the government out of owning all this land? Why don't we get the government out of colleges? Because whenever they get their hands inside of different entities, different things, different industries, they screw it up. They make it worse. They create more problems and issues. Why don't we bring our troops home and have a big, strong defense, and try to get better trade agreements with other countries, and not try to use excessive force to get things that we want from them? Why don't we try to get rid of a lot of the government programs and a lot of the government sectors that are useless, and allow America to do it privately? Those are things that Jo Jorgensen talks about. She has real plans. She has real direction that's going to help these people. She has a real desire to do the right thing because she doesn't have any skeletons in the closet. She's an average working doctor/teacher who's doing this because she's sick and tired of the erosion of the American way. What the founding fathers put out there to make this country in this direction. They wrote the Constitution so the government wouldn't get too big, too strong, overbearing, and too much control. And she is trying to stop that from happening with Democrat and government control. So that is why I feel that Jo Jorgensen is the best person for the presidency. That's why I'm voting for her. And like I said before early in the video, is that if you look her up, you see her on YouTube and different social media platforms, you read what she wants to do, you'll fall in love with her like I did, and you'll be proud to vote for her in November, and know that your vote went to somebody who actually cares about you, cares about this country, and is going to make a real change in this country and bring peace, liberty, justice, and bring this country back from being so distraught, so divided, and have so many people wanting to rip your head off.